All right, fine. Go ahead.
Well, all righty. Thank you all for spending your Monday evening with me and with all of us together. Really do appreciate any chance we have to get together. And my name is Joy, and I am just excited to share my Plexus journey so far. And I'm hitting the 3-year mark, which is crazy this month. And but I was just thinking, I'm like, what was going on 3 years ago this time? I just met the wonderful Michelle Rose about 3 weeks earlier. She instantly had a friend requested me. We had mutual friends, and then she started messaging me, and I wasn't wanting to get caught up in another network marketing, and I was like, nope, nope. I don't want that. I've just been burned by so many. I had done Beachbody, and I lost weight with Beachbody, but when it came time to sharing, it just didn't work, and it wasn't a very versatile thing, and people could just buy it off of Amazon, and so I had a lot of um, frustration with that, and frustration with also um, things that make me dump money in, and I don't get the results because that was the history of my life. I had stubborn weight. And I'm a dietitian. I didn't say that first. I'm a dietitian, and I know how to count calories. I know all the healthy things to do, and I would be teaching people that, coaching people on that. And but yet I never got the results that everybody wants when you work on healthy habits. And I just was stuck with that my whole adult life, and it was just something that always was on the back of my brain, wondering what was missing, wondering what was I doing wrong, and then the thinking of that I must not be doing it good enough. you know I must not have been doing it good enough. I must not be good enough. And that's just a horrible way to be. And so I joke a lot with Michelle about how before Plexus I was Angry Joy, and it wasn't because of one specific thing. It was just that something was missing. I had a lot of anxiety. I had a thyroid that wasn't working right. And so I was on that medication before, and I just had stubborn weight. And that was the thing that was just, easy to focus on and easy to beat myself up about, because I was a lifelong athlete. I was doing the things that I tell people to do, and yet my own body wasn't responding. And so, Michelle was messaging me 3 years ago, and I ignored her a lot of the time. And then finally was just like, she was wanting to just have a phone call. And I had met her in person. And so, it's not like she was a complete stranger. We spent 30 hours in a van in the coast. So with 4 other people. And so I was just like, okay, yeah, phone call. And I remember exactly where I was for that phone call when I squeezed it in, because not only was I Angry Joy, I was a super busy hustle, go type person, because that's how I perceived my worth to be at the time. I just figured, okay, well, if I'm just always doing things, that's a little badge of honor, that I'm always doing things, I'm always busy. I would say that it's a personality trait, and that, therefore, whatever other shortcomings I had, whether, if I was angry and irritable, well, at least I'm getting stuff done. At least I'm providing for my family. And that's still, I was not being the person that I wanted to be. And so we scheduled this phone call. I was off with the volleyball team. That I was athletic director, I was bus driver, I was wearing so many hats at that time. And so in a hallway of another school I don't even work at, I had my call with Michelle, and she was just like, okay, you need help with weight. All right, your weight loss is your goals. And then she's like, what about energy? And I laughed, and I was like, I drink coffee, I drink energy drinks that I know I should not drink. I used to hide them in my coffee mugs. And because my days were so long then, and I needed so much help with energy, I would have usually 2 of those along with my coffee a day. And so she's like, okay, she set me up with an order. I didn't even ask for details. I didn't even ask what the price was. I was like, order it. And I didn't tell my family what I was doing. I didn't tell anybody what I was doing because I was just like, well, gut health. I've never tried gut health. I had heard of this company before a little bit, but I'd never tried it. And I was like, well, 60-day money back guarantee. What do I have to lose? I've tried so many things, maybe this will work. So I still had hope. And I had been watching, what Michelle was posting. So it's not like I wasn't investigating, on my own. Or cyber stalking. I also did a Google search to find all those bad reviews. You can find bad reviews on anything, right? People will if they have, any kind of uh, they're unsatisfied in any way, they're going to blast it out there. And pretty much what I saw was I saw people who this is terrible to say, but they just weren't consistent is what it sounded like. They weren't consistent, and also they didn't quite understand how it worked. I don't know. That's what I interpreted as the dietitian and me on the reviews that people had, or that they said the money, they didn't get the money back guarantee, and I'm like, well, the company has the Better Business Bureau A+ rating, so I did my due diligence, and I'm like, okay, we'll just see what happens, and just started taking the products. I remember the first day I took the products, I went to Red Robin because this is a tradition I have with my sister in September. We go to Red Robin, we go Halloween costume shopping. And I remember taking the MetaBurn and still ordering, but I always order at Red Robin. And I was like, yeah, okay, this stuff, I'm supposed to, just take it, and it's not going to be a major life overhaul, because I'd done those things and my body never responded. I've done the restrictive calories and restrictive diets, and maybe 10 pounds my body would budge, and that would be it. And it would be so hard. And so, I just went with it, followed the directions that came with it on how to get started, followed Michelle's guidance. A little more even extreme, following Michelle's example of where I even asked her, what kind of blender did you use? And I got the same blender for making veggie smoothies with the protein powder. So the Vitamix, it's great for making those veggie protein smoothies, which I'm so excited to try the pumpkin spice protein powder. So I'll be ordering it tonight. So anyways, yeah, I was committed. I was going to do it. So yeah, my Ninja, the Vitamix didn't travel. The old Ninja that I had before, that was my travel one. So the Vitamix never went anywhere. But yeah, I just continued with, having the protein shake to replace one meal, and I healed my gut, and that was the missing piece. I mean, when I learned more about, like, when I first got started, I was like, oh, it's just fancy probiotics. I'm a dietitian. Probiotics, yeah, big deal. Or it's just fancy Metamucil. That's what I called the pink drink when somebody asked me what was I drinking, because I didn't want to tell anybody. I was not telling anybody what I was doing. But it was 6 weeks in, and I'd lost 20 pounds. And not only was the weight, people could see, and I was paranoid about that too, because everything else I'd done in the past, as soon as people would start to comment about losing weight, my willpower, everything would just go out the window, because been like, okay, yep, my work is done. I don't have to work at it anymore. Because it was always restrictive too, but also like, okay, people have noticed, I can let down my guard. And what is great about this and how it was so different was just my body was finally working right. I didn't have to fight cravings all the time. I didn't have to rely on willpower alone. My body just didn't want, as much potato chips. I'm a salty person more than sweets. And so, but what people noticed, not only did they notice with the weight, but they noticed I was happy. And that's, so many people would comment on that. They're like, yeah, you look great, but there's something different about, you're just happier. And that's because of just I was no longer fighting blood sugar battle that I had had for over 20 years. my anxiety that actually was very much connected to the blood sugar ups and downs, was cleared. I used to have prescriptions for my anxiety, and now I don't. I used to have prescriptions for my thyroid, and now I don't. And I've just become the person that was always inside me, and the person that I wanted to be once that, my gut got healed. And I didn't think I had an unhealthy gut. I'm a dietitian. I know what unhealthy guts, stereotypically are, that the IBS syndromes, the, just the severe bloat. I didn't have discomfort every time I ate. I was held captive by food because I had to have something always in me every 2 to 3 hours, but that was just blood sugar. That's nothing related to the gut. Yeah. And so part of it too, when I, finally started just feeling so good and diving more into why my body was finally responding the way I always wanted it to do, I really felt like something had been missing from the education I paid for to become a dietitian too. I was like, how come I did not know about this? How come people don't know about this? And so that's when I was just like, okay, I'm ready to share, because my life, the hustle lifestyle had still been going on, and this was something so simple to fit in that busy life that I used to have. And I still got results even though life was crazy. It was because it was simple. And also, I was able to handle everything that was going on. It was in, I guess it was, 3 years ago. So the fall of 2021, we were still dealing with COVID and my kids in schools, and I was working in schools. And yeah, so it was really a stressful time. And the fact that I was getting through it and being happy was really spoke a lot to it. And so Michelle had been messaging me about, you want to share, or you have some friends that can join you? And I was like, no, that whole time. And then finally I was like, okay, yeah, I need to share this. This is something that the dietitian in me wants to share this, because it has made such a difference, and I want to help others make a difference. And I have, and that's so rewarding, that people just like I, was looking, like feeling like there was a missing piece in my health. There was a gap that was just, I was doing, like I said, doing the healthy things, being physically active, eating a overall pretty healthy diet, not the standard American diet. But something was missing, and it was gut health. It was Plexus, though, not just gut health. It was Plexus, because the company knows what they're doing and is the original gut health company. So it's, we have patented on things, and I love that since over the past 3 years, whenever I can get continuing education that is centered around gut health, because that's not my focus, and I have to have so much hours of continuing education to continue to be a dietitian. I love that when I go to these seminars that are not Plexus related at all, what they teach and what they are sharing on the science, it's exactly what Plexus is already doing. And that's what I love about it as well. And so I, like say, I'm a dietitian, and I never thought I had an unhealthy gut, but healing my gut made all the difference in my life, and in my family's life, and so many other people's. So
Always love hearing the full story, because I remember where I was when I called you, and I remember where you were when I called you too.
you're at a playground, I think, right?
Yeah, we were at a park,
Yeah.
and I was like walking laps around the tennis court. I remember you were at a volleyball tournament.
Walking up and down. Well, I was in the hallway, yeah, at Toledo High
Yeah,
School.
yeah.
Yeah.
I remember all of it. And I also remember when you texted me and said, "I'm ready." And I was like, "Huh?" Okay, let's go.
I just went and did my own thing,
Yeah.
my own post.
I love it so much. I'm just gonna